Hey everybody, welcome back to Cosmic Life Astrology. Today we are talking about the week of September 9th. We have a positive week ahead of us, which I'm sure you are all going to welcome with open arms. And what you're seeing on the screen right now is a chart for Sunday, which I think is going to be the most important day of the week. The positive momentum that we see leading us through the week and then up to the eclipse next week, I find is very auspicious. So let's talk about it. On Monday, we have Mercury re-entering Virgo, where it's nice and comfortable and home because it rules Virgo. And it's going to finish its shadow period on Wednesday when it hits 4 degrees of Virgo. So, we're pretty much getting out of the woods of the Mercury retrograde and all of the work that we've been reviewing and rethinking and the details that we've had to go over since July 15th. And because Mercury is going to be leaving the shadow period, it's going to pick up speed. So we will see clarity coming in a little more quickly, especially as time goes on and we're past that 4 degrees of Virgo. So this is very much welcomed, especially when we're talking about trying to work out details. I think things will be more clear. People will be on the same page. And I think we'll see more movement happening from this point on. On Tuesday, we will see the moon in Sagittarius, which is going to be making some really nice connections. It will trine the North Node in Aries. It will sextile the South Node. It will sextile Juno and then Venus. So this is a very positive vibes, feel-good energy, especially when it comes to relationships with that sextile to Juno and Venus. The feel-good energy, the adventurous spirit, the optimistic, emotions and faith and hope that Sagittarius brings, with that moon and Sag making the trine to the North Node, that really could help us feel more confident about where we're headed. On Wednesday, we will see Mercury at 3 degrees of Virgo make a sextile to Mars at 3 degrees of Cancer. And the two will be in pretty close sextile to each other through Saturday, which is nice. This to me is a sign to move forward now that Mercury on the same day leaves the shadow period at 4 degrees of Virgo. So I think this is very symbolic that we're getting a cosmic green light, that whatever we've been reviewing since mid-July, we can now proceed with. And this may be more of a focus on females, family life, home life, any, whatever makes you feel safe and secure, your emotional world when it comes to Cancer energy. I think this is going to be like, between Mercury coming out of shadow and then Mercury and Mars making that connection to each other for a few days. This really is a nice little nudge like, hey, you're on the right track, just go. So I like this energy for Wednesday and throughout the rest of the week, really. On Thursday, we will see the sun at 20 degrees of Virgo make a square to Jupiter at 20 degrees of Gemini. And this may bring some challenge with agreements. I say that because Virgo is ruled by Mercury and Gemini is also ruled by Mercury. And they are both about communication, written, spoken words. And Virgo wants to be very detail-oriented. Gemini is, reviewing options. And Jupiter can be about the truth of the matter. It can be also about law or, legal issues, as well as, education and, learning, traveling. So there may be some things that need to be leveled out and worked out on Thursday. When we see the moon at 4 degrees of Capricorn Thursday make an opposition to Mars, that, further highlights the need to maybe work two opposing sides of the coin out kind of energy that I'm speaking of. With the moon in Capricorn, it's not very comfortable. It's very timid in Capricorn, and more serious minded. And Mars in Cancer is like a mama bear kind of energy, as a lot of people say, because it fights for, it fights for its loved ones, its family. It fights for what makes it feel safe and comfortable. However, Mars and the moon are in mutual reception to each other. The moon would much rather be in Cancer, and Mars would rather be in Capricorn. So there's a mutual reception between the two of them, and that says to me that a middle ground can be found. So whatever kind of tensions or challenges that come up during Thursday, it will be worked out. There may be even a possibility of what you feel and what you want to do. There may be some push-pull dynamic, or you may be scared of going after what you want, because I'll tell you, Cancers, if they're not comfortable, they won't move. They'll stay home where they're safe and sound and comfortable. And with the moon being timid in Capricorn, there could be that, I don't know. I know what I feel inside, but, this is a risk I have to take, and I'm not sure if I'm willing to take it. And we're getting some real supportive energy to take risks during this week, especially as we are in the eclipse energy. We see Jupiter approaching a sextile with Chiron as well, which is giving us the faith that everything is working out for you. And while I'm mentioning Jupiter approaching a sextile to Chiron, I say that because they are 3 degrees away from, you could see it on this chart, 2 degrees, I'm sorry. They're 2 degrees away from being in a perfect sextile to each other. And so when Jupiter gets to 22 degrees of Gemini, it's going to retrograde back. So we won't see them perfectly sextile each other for a while. And when they do, Jupiter is going to move backwards, or start moving backwards. And I think the connection to the two of them right now is giving us that confidence that it's okay. You don't have to be scared of going after what it is that you're trying to go after. You've done the healing work. You just need to trust and have faith that everything's working out. And everything will be okay for you, because we're talking about Aries. So I like that supportive energy that is going on in the background during the Sun square Jupiter. Now we will also see on Thursday. Thursday is a very energetic day. Venus is approaching its trine to Jupiter in Gemini. And so we will see the Venus trine Jupiter energy playing out between Thursday and Monday. So this will be a change of luck with love and relationships especially, but also with money. We have Venus right here, and obviously Jupiter right there. And so this trine between the two of them, it only happens twice a year. And with Venus at home in Libra, Venus, it has more power than Jupiter because Jupiter's in its domicile in Gemini. So that's why I think it's going to be more love and relationship based, and money based as well. So there could be some positive developments that happen over the weekend where we suddenly have an expansive opportunity, or there could be someone that comes into your life that expands your horizons in some way. There could be a positive development that happens in current relationships that, as long as they're beneficial to you, there could be, some kind of leveling up during this time. If you're dating someone, you could become engaged, or, if you're engaged, you could be getting married during this weekend, which would be a great time to do so. So you catch the drift. When it comes to money, this could be, a large amount of money when we're talking about Jupiter being in the trine. So there could be some, maybe new career opportunity, or, if you're into going to casinos, you could have, good luck at the casinos and, walk away with some nice change in your pocket from that. Whatever it may be, this is definitely a positive connection. So go out there and have fun this weekend. See what happens for you, because you have the two great benefics in harmony with each other during this trine. And like I said, this is building up starting Thursday, and will play out until Monday. So this is, a great time to have a nice long weekend away as well, since Jupiter loves to travel. Or, maybe take a romantic getaway this weekend. This would be positive energy for that as well. Now, while we're talking about this big trine between Venus and Jupiter, now as you can see on the chart that I have here, we have a big kite formation. We have a grand air trine happening on Sunday between the moon in Aquarius, Jupiter in Gemini, and Venus in Libra. And then we have Jupiter making the connection to Chiron, and obviously Chiron's making a connection to the moon. We also have Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto making positive connections to each other. So Uranus and Pluto are trining each other right now, and they're both sextiling Neptune. So you can see right here, they're both pointing to Neptune, and right here, we're being pointed towards Chiron. So it's like release and heal. Release and, release your wounds, possibly even. And Chiron is going to be opposing Venus. Now, what I like about the Venus opposed Chiron connection is that this could be, a healing opportunity, especially with females or people that you're in relationship with. It's for Venus to be in her home sign, this is more favorable than not in an opposition to Chiron. There could just be some things that you're reflecting on in the past that you're ready to let go of, especially when we're talking about this kite formation. So you see right here, the line between the two of them, we have this cross going between. So we have right there. We're just going to circle this. I wasn't sure on how I was going to do this with you guys, but I wanted to show you, because we don't see kites happening very often. So I'm just going to highlight where we're being guided towards during this formation, because not only do we have this kite action happening, okay, with the grand air trine, okay, and then that grand air trine is pointing towards Chiron. So it's like we have opportunity for expansion, opportunity for, making a decision, right? Where Gemini is a dual-bodied sign. So there could have been some decisions that need to be made. We have Venus in her home sign of Libra. And we have the moon in Aquarius, which is very free-spirited, wanting freedom, wanting the ability to be its unique individual self. And, you know, with the moon making a trine to Venus, I feel like we're going to be honoring the relationships that allow us to be our true selves. We're going to be making a decision that honors what's true for us. And that's going to help restore balance in our life with this Venus connection. And in order to do that, we have to tap into that healed version of ourselves with Chiron and Aries in the mix. And when we have the outer planets making connections to each other during this kite formation, you know, they've been making this connection to each other since June 22nd, I believe was the date. And essentially they've been doing a lot of cleanup work and preparing us for closing out of chapters in some way, shape, or form in your life. You know, we're going to see Neptune enter Aries next year. We're going to see Pluto go back into Aquarius next year. And Uranus will also move into Gemini. So they're all at the end of their journey in the signs that they've been in, and they're slow-moving planets. So they're all making positive connections to each other, while around anaretic degrees. Okay, we have Neptune at 28:39, Pluto at 29, Uranus at 27. And Uranus started its retrograde recently at 27 degrees. So, you know, we will see in mid-October, Pluto will be the first to come out of retrograde. And then in mid-December, we will see Neptune come out of retrograde. And then in mid-January, we will see Uranus come out of retrograde. So they're all going through an integration process during their retrograde cycles. And they're making positive connections with each other. So it's as if we're coming to terms with the things that are being closed out in our life right now. And we're being guided to move forward. We're being guided to honor ourselves, with Chiron and Aries being the pivotal point of this kite formation. We're being told to honor the relationships that bring us harmony and peace and balance. And I that's why I think Sunday is like one of the best days of the week, maybe the month, because of this formation. We're really doubling down on what we have to do next, on the next chapter that we have to embark on. Now, while saying this, we have Mars at 6 degrees of Cancer. And where are the North Node and South Node? 6 degrees of Aries, and then 6 degrees of Libra. So Mars is making a square to the nodes during this time. What does that tell you? Well, essentially, Mars is saying push forward. Push forward to what makes you feel good, Cancer. What makes you feel safe. What is true for your inner wellness and your sovereign self and your peace. You know, like I mentioned before, Cancers, they want to feel peace. They want to feel safe. They want to feel secure. You know, they don't trust easily. They have to know what they're working with in order to feel comfortable. And Mars squaring the nodes is, you know, Mars is looking back to the past, to the South Node in Libra. So Mars is looking back to past relationships and looking to the North Node in Aries and saying, yeah, I know some things didn't work out with these past relationships, but I gotta I know what feels right for me, and I gotta move forward. And Mars is, this, even though we have a lot of support from this grand air trine, from the kite formation, from the outer planets connecting positively with each other, Mars is feeling that pressure to make a move. And I said this last week as well, that Mars was feeling pressure. And with Mars being in Cancer, it's not at its best. It wants to move, and it wants to move based off of emotion in Cancer too. And we're really, it's like Mars is in a tug of war between the past and the future. So if that's not enough, next week we have the Pisces lunar eclipse. And I think if you don't make the moves yourself, the lunar eclipse is going to force it upon you. So be willing, open, and ready for the gateway that is opening up right now, because this kite formation happening before an eclipse, man, if that's not a cosmic nudge from the universe, I don't know what is. There's definitely something significant brewing. And we have Jupiter making that trine to Venus. It is going to be positive. That's a very benefic connection. The two benefics in the sky making a trine to each other, Venus in her home sign, yeah, it's going to be benefic. So whatever starts, you should probably see some inklings of things throughout the week, and then the weekend, it's really going to be potent. Positive and potent. And then with the eclipse, it's like, even though Mars is uncomfortable in Cancer, it wants comfort. And, the eclipse is going to eclipse something out, as they say. Something's going to be released, especially I don't want to get too far ahead of myself with the eclipse, because I will make a separate video on that. But we're talking about an eclipse in Pisces, which is about releasing and letting go, especially with Neptune at an, pretty close to an anaretic degree, which will be part of the eclipse. We're really being told to let go so we can move forward to something that's better and brighter and brings us more balance and joy, and is more in line with what we need. So I hope you heed the call and you have the optimism and faith in yourself to go with the flow and let whatever is coming in right now be an opportunity to bring you growth and expansion and very beneficial connections in your life. And with that, I want to say I hope you all have a great week. We will be back with a video for the Pisces lunar eclipse coming next week. I can't wait to talk about that. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Click the like button, share your comments. I respond to all of them. And I'll be back with more videos. Enjoy, everyone.